Welcome to the Peter Leg Podcast, where you're empowered to lead, inspire, and influence. Now, here's your host and mentor, best-selling author, internationally acclaimed speaker, and community leader, Dr. Peter Leg.
Welcome to the Peter Leg Podcast. My guest today is Kaitlyn McConnell. I got that right, Kaitlyn?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
And you're somewhere on Vancouver Island.
Yes.
Have you lived there long?
I've lived here for 10 years.
And you're married and children?
And I'm married and have 2 young kids. Yeah.
They say Vancouver Island is much calmer, Greater Vancouver. Do you echo that?
Well, I've never lived in Vancouver, so I don't know how I can speak to that, but it definitely, when I visited Vancouver, Victoria definitely seems like a chiller sort of vibe.
So tell us what your position is, what exactly you do, who are your clients, what results do you look for, results do you get?
Yep. So I work for a nonprofit called WeBC. So we are a federally funded organization, and we help women entrepreneurs throughout their entrepreneurial journey. So my role in that is I am the skills development and mentoring manager. And so I support the women through skills training. So we do training on different topics depending on what their needs are around entrepreneurship. And then we also have a mentoring program. So we help match women with other experienced women entrepreneurs and put them in a mentoring relationship where they get support. And then we also do peer mentoring groups. So that's where about 6 entrepreneurs get together. They're all in the same stage of business. And then they have an experienced entrepreneur facilitator who helps facilitate the discussion and work through challenges with them.
So how broad is your reach? Is it just in Vancouver Island, or do you do all of BC or all of Canada?
So we do all of BC. So we service all of BC.
How do you get your identification out there so people know to come to you for this need?
So we have 3 different offices. So we have our head offices in Kelowna, and then we have an office in Vancouver and Victoria. And so that's where our main staff is. But then we also have remote offices in Nanaimo, and then I think Prince George, Kootenay area, and where else? Farther up in Campbell River. And so we have people there who help spread the word, but then we also have a great marketing manager, and she does lots of outreach to the different communities through online social media and things like that. So that means we have a loans program. So we can lend up to $150,000 to a woman-owned business. And then we have business advisors. So if someone has like a specific challenge that they're working on and they need to speak with someone, we have business advisors available to help them. And then, as I mentioned, we have the skills development training. So different training throughout the province at different times. And then we have the mentoring program. So people can find us email, website, signing up for e-news, those sorts of things. That's usually how we attract people. And then partnerships with other organizations.
And how long have you been doing this?
So I've been with the organization for 11 years. I think I'm in my 12th now. And so I started, I've been part of the mentoring program the entire duration of my career here, but the skills development management is fairly new for me. But we were a pretty small team when I first started. So you kind of have your hand in each sort of area. So I have a pretty broad understanding of each department.
Now, would you be allowed to share some of the challenges that you're faced with in helping those people without naming names?
Well, for us as an organization, being nonprofits, it's always around funding. So we need funding to help the women entrepreneurs. So we do partnerships with other organizations. So people like the Discovery Foundation, Van City have been really helpful in helping us keep the programs going. challenges, I think, sometimes for women entrepreneurs is not understanding that we're here to help them, and a lot of our services are free. So, even the access to funding and understanding the funding puzzle, I think, is a challenge for some people. So, I think the biggest thing is just them knowing that we're here and we can help them. It's just a matter of asking.
So if most of your services are free, who is the financial backer?
So Pacific Can. It used to be Western Economic Diversification Canada, and now they are Pacific Can for the BC area.
And how many years have they been doing this?
So they've been funding us for over 25 years. We started in 1995.
Oh,
So
it's a
it's
lot
part
of
of
money.
a larger program. So there's different women entrepreneur initiatives in other provinces, and we were part of that.
So how did you get involved?
How did I? Well, I was working in Revelstoke, and one of my girlfriends sent me a job listing for the organization because it was in Kelowna. So I went down for an interview, and I got to really get an idea on what they were doing to help entrepreneurs. And it was a great team, and the work that they're doing really inspired me. And so I obviously got the job, and I've been here ever since. It's been a pretty amazing group of people to work with.
So what skill sets do you have and have you acquired over the last many years that make you an expert at this?
I wouldn't quite say I'm an expert, but I have a business degree. So I have a business degree with a major in finance, which is hilarious because I don't do anything around the finance in this organization. But I think the people skills like you gain throughout the time. So I've been fortunate to have some pretty great mentors as my boss. So I feel like their guidance and support has helped me sort of grow in my role. And we went through quite a few changes at the start of COVID. So their support has allowed me to step into these management roles, which is fairly new for me.
Has there been one challenging situation that you can share with our audience that would
Like in terms of the women entrepreneurs, or just my own experience with the organization?
well, maybe just yours.
Just mine at the organization. I think challenge is more the uncertainty of funding. So we have our core funding from Pacific Can, which does our core programs, and then our extra, which is the mentoring. So it's always been that every year there's an uncertainty of whether your job's going to be there still. Like, we do amazing work, and the feedback we get from the women is that they really need our services and support. But as an employee of a nonprofit who's based on funding, that's been challenging for me. It's just every year the uncertainty of whether you're going to, continue to be able to work here.
Where does the money originate from to help you do this?
Well, I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I think it's the federal government. So it's part of the Women's Entrepreneur Initiative Fund.
Okay. What kind of skills development program are we talking about?
In the skills development training,
Yeah.
yeah. So it depends on what the needs are for the entrepreneurs, but for the most part, we have human resource series that we offer. We have financial planning, strategic planning, and imposter syndrome and mindset are some of the main core training that we offer. And then we also offer 1 hour sort of conversational fireside chat sessions, which we call we cafes. So throughout the year, we'll hear about certain challenges women are having or questions they have, and so we'll do topic-based we cafes and bring in subject matter experts.
So how did you get caught up in this business? How did you get attracted to this business? What kind of skills do you bring to them? Because they must be substantial.
I think, well, I'm a keen learner, so I love learning and I love listening to what other people are doing. So, especially in the mentoring program, you get an opportunity to really get to know what the women are doing. So you have chats about what their challenges are, what are their roadblocks, What sort of support do they need? So those are the things I love, like chat. I really like connecting with them. So especially in the mentoring program, connecting with them one-to-one, because you get to chat with them and hear about, what their business is, the challenges that they're having, the support they're looking for. And I really like helping to facilitate connecting them with other mentors who can support them or help them um, put them in a direction in the organization that best supports them on their journey. So a lot of the women that I speak to are, I would call them solopreneurs. So they're early stages. Um, they are pretty new to business and they're working on their own. So they're feeling very isolated. And so they kind of get stuck in their own thought process. And so having someone that can help offer new ideas, brainstorm some solutions to the challenges they're experiencing, and just be there to listen to them is really all that they need to help kind of take them to the next level and give them the confidence to move forward in their business.
Well, can you help share with us what are some of the common concerns of women in business?
Isolation is one for the solopreneurs. Another one are clients, like how best to connect with their target market. So how do they, get their business out there, get clients. Funding, a lot of them are nervous about funding. Like they don't look at themselves necessarily at a place where they need funding, but it is something that maybe they should think about later on. And so understanding that there are resources available to them.
So where do they get the funding? They get the funding from you?
So they can get it through us.
Yeah.
So we have a lending program, and then we also partner with other organizations. So we partner with Van City, and then Futurepreneur, we do partnership loans with them sometimes. So just helping them understand the lending puzzle. And if they don't necessarily need a loan with us, we can help share the other organizations that offer funding.
How many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for 11. I'm in my 12th.
Obviously, you love it. Obviously, it fulfills your needs.
Yes, I love connecting with the women entrepreneurs. I love connecting with our team. Like we have a pretty dynamic team. We're small, but we all have a common passion in helping women entrepreneurs. And so it's really great to be around people, the energy around that.
Would you be open to talking about a major project that you've undertaken?
So we just finished a 4-year project, what we called MWE. So it was 4 years, and it was really around helping women in the rural areas get support. And so we had extra resources to provide training, mentoring, and then loans program. So we just finished that. So we're pretty proud. We are just in the process of doing our final reporting. And so we hit all our targets, and the women we were able to support getting their testimonials in and things like that. So it's exciting.
There's some up and coming mentoring programs that you're running.
Yes, so we're going to be launching the one-to-one mentoring program in the next little bit. And then because we've just received new funding for the next 2 years, we're just in the process of planning that out. So definitely this year we're going to have new programs. The best thing to do in order to get notified on them is just to go to our website and sign up for our e-news, because that's when we let everybody know when the applications are open and what programs will be available.
Yeah, not necessarily open every week.
No, so we do intakes.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you're a loan client, and then you get matched on an ongoing basis.
So approximately how many intakes would you take happen a year?
So probably one for each program. So we do one for the one-to-one mentoring program, and then we do one for the peer mentoring program, and then one if we were going to do the taking the stage program.
And what fulfillment do you get out of running this organization?
Well, I don't run it. I just help. Our CEO's the one that runs it all, but I support that. So I love working with the team. And like I said, we have a pretty dynamic group of women who we work with. And what keeps me going is just the hearing. So after they go through the mentoring program, or maybe they've received a loan, or they've got a resource or something that's just helped them get to the next level of their business or understand a piece of their business that's been holding them back. Those are the things I love. Like we had a peer mentoring group in Prince George, and the facilitator said when she started the session, you could just feel like this weight get lifted off. And she says we were on Zoom and it was so interesting, but you could just feel like these women were just feeling so relieved that they weren't alone in their thoughts about entrepreneurship or their struggles. Like they had other people that were feeling the same way. And I think that's a really amazing thing that we don't think we need. But then once you have it, it's like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been looking for, is that connection.
Are there any other sort of announcements that you'd like to make and share with this audience before we go? And also, how do people reach you?
So I would say, go to our website. It's webc.ca and take a look at our resources. Sign up for the e-news. The programs will be rolling out here in the next couple of months. And so it's just the best place that you can get notified on the ones that would be most relevant to you and your business. Like I said, we're on Instagram, so you can follow us and get information that way. And then we're on Facebook as well.
What personal satisfaction do you get out of helping all these women?
Personal satisfaction. I don't know. I just love it. Like, I don't know how else to explain it other than I get fulfillment being able to help other people. So I think the satisfaction is whether it's helping the team do what they need to do or helping the women entrepreneurs navigate running a business. I can relate to a lot of them in the sense that I'm a working mom and, there's other factors that affect women in the workforce. And especially when they're running their own businesses, it's just another added layer that I think that they need to work around. So I think helping them feel like they have support and they're not in it alone gives me great satisfaction.
So in the 30 seconds we've got left, give a short commercial about how people reach you, what they can expect, what kind of response they would get from you.
So they can reach us, as I mentioned, on our website. You can also send an email to client services. So it's just we-bc.ca. And they'll help funnel you to the proper channels that you need help with. Reach out on Instagram, Facebook, just ask for help when we're here. Like, I can't tell you enough. If you find us, we will help you. Just come and ask. All you have to do is ask and we're here. So all of
If you're in
BC.
BC and you're a woman and you've got the business idea and you need some financial help and some encouragement, they need to get a hold of you, share their dream and their vision, and maybe they can work a deal with you and be even more successful.
Yeah, whatever stage they are in the entrepreneurship journey, we can help support them. Definitely.
Well, obviously, individuals need that. In fact, some corporations need that. And thank you for sharing these 15, 20 minutes with us. Much appreciated. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to chat with you today. It's been lovely.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.